Welcome to Best Life Ever, the podcast. Pua. That was my intro.
I like your music.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm so good.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
You're all like in Africa. I can't believe it. It seems like a dream.
It does seem like a dream. I feel like I'm dreaming because I can't stop sleeping because I can't. I'm like, why is it that this jet lag is lasting so long? It's so crazy. It was 13 hours time difference, and it took 2 full days to travel there and then 2 full days to travel back. And then we were on a bunch of planes while we were there. And so it was tons of travel, but it was probably one of the most incredible trips and incredible experiences ever. And I'm so grateful. And just like it, like you and I both did semester at sea when we were in college. And, like travel just kind of is such a great exercise to remind us how small the world is, how we're all human doing awesome things in the world, and we're all, doing the best we can with the awareness that we have, no matter who we are, no matter where we are. And it's just a great way to see things from a different perspective and know that what you're doing is still different from what other people are doing on the other side of the world.
Love that.
So crazy.
Yeah, and it's so exciting to talk with you about this, actually. We really haven't talked that much about your trip. It's so weird. You came back and we sort of just dove back into our work because we love our work so much. I know. But can you, for me and for all of the listeners, just give like a little quick sort of synopsis of all the places that you went and a few of the highlights of your experience? Because I know I saw like a lot of like amazing animal photos that I didn't have a chance to ask you about yet. So yeah, just give us like a quick little share.
Totally. Oh, that's so funny. We really haven't talked about this at all. So we flew into Uganda. So we flew into Entebbe and we spent a few hours there. And then we went straight to Bwindi, which is where it's called the Impenetrable Forest, and that's where they have protected gorilla families, and they're really doing great things to bring the number of mountain gorillas back up to a healthy number. And so what we did there was we did 2 days of gorilla trekking, and so you pay to have a guide. So there's 2 guides and an armed guard or 2 that come with you, and the armed guards are there to scare shoot if the other animals like elephants or other kinds of animals come and try to bother you, which is like, it was really scary at first to be around so many people with ginormous guns, but they're so nice, and they're just there to, make sure everybody's safe, and they're not there to kill. Like, they made very sure that we knew that they are there to scare shoot. So, I mean, it just makes you feel a little bit safer, actually. And so it was really cool. The program that we went through, all the money goes towards the kind of vet care that they give to the gorillas if they get sick, and towards the people who are there with them all the time to make sure that they're safe. So it was a great program to support. And so what we did was we hiked into the forest, and they take groups of no more than 8 people to different gorilla families where you can spend 1 hour with them. And we were so close. Like, I could have reached out and touched them. But, that's like really not
a good idea.
Okay. But so you spend an hour with them, and it was just amazing. And they guarantee that you're going to see gorillas. So what they do is they take you into the forest, and you just kind of hike around and you trailblaze. And you can hike for half an hour, you can hike for 10 hours, but you don't stop until you either find a family of gorillas or until nightfall. So it was an adventure for sure. The first day was a really, really, really hard hike. It was super steep, super muddy. It was raining, but so worth it. And it was amazing. And Bwindi itself was my favorite place. And I think it was because it was very raw, and just the people there was no real social class difference. And everyone was just, I mean, I hate to say this, but everyone was poor. Mm-hmm. Everybody. And, you just walk around, everybody's working really hard. Everybody's wearing what looked like donated clothes. There was no kind of traditional clothing or anything. It was just, doing what they need to do to make it work every day. But that's the place that the people were probably the kindest to us. Just really naturally welcoming and friendly. So that to me was just such a trip. And for that to be the first place that we went was really kind of shocking, but also a really nice way to come into Africa, I think. Yeah, that was the first 3 days. And then we went to Tanzania and we hiked up to the first, the base camp of Kilimanjaro, which was really awesome. But also it was camping. It was cold and, it was not a
roughing
hotel.
It a little bit.
Yeah. But what was really amazing about that was the food. So we had my dad, my sister, and we had 2 guides who came with us up the mountain, and literally anything we needed, they would do for us. It was to the point where it was no, I'm good. They're like, no, give me your bag. It's fine. Give me your bag. We're like, what? And then we had 2 porters carry all the rest of our stuff up, and a chef and a waiter, because the place to make the food was kind of far away from where we would eat. So the chef was unbelievable. They ask you what you ate, right? And so we decided to eat just vegetables and fish on this trip. So they brought up fresh fish. They brought up an entire basket of fruits and vegetables, and they made the most amazing food I've ever had. It was the best food we had on the whole trip, hands down. And It was made at the top of a mountain. Mm-hmm. So crazy. And so the last few days of the trip after that, we spent in the Ngorongoro crater and the Serengeti, and we just did safari drives and saw so many animals. I have 3,000 photos. It's a dream come true, and it was really amazing to see animals in true wildlife conditions. They weren't owned by anybody. They didn't follow any rules except their own.
That really resonates with you, doesn't it?
National Geographic to its purest form. But,
animals living their best life ever.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Yep, freedom.
You're gonna go chase and kill and eat the zebra. But yeah, it was awesome.
Wow, how amazing. Okay, now can you share a little bit more with me? We talked a little recently about how when you came back, you felt really inspired to just essentialize. I feel like I'm interviewing you. Can you tell me? Can you tell us what inspired that? Where those feelings came from, and what that looked like in your home when you returned?
Yeah, I love that, and I you know me. I'm a kind of a recovering hoarder, and yet I love to organize and declutter, but this just kind of took that inspiration to a whole new level. And it was just again, it was when I was in Burundi, and I was just talking to a lot of people who had nothing. They literally had nothing. We donated some of our clothing to a woman who was working at the hotel we were staying at, and she was in tears, to get somebody's used clothes that they brought on vacation. These are clothes that we don't even think about. They sit in our drawers for so long, and it meant so much to her. And just to see that there are bigger issues in this world. People are every day, they don't know how they're going to feed their family. Every day they have to walk miles and miles and miles to work. Every day they don't know if they're going to be able to have clean, warm clothes for their kids. Those are real problems. And yet these people were kind, and they were helping us, and they were happy, and they were optimistic. No one complained to us. Nobody seemed unhappy or depressed. And, not that they didn't have that going on, I'm sure, but it was just really eye-opening and really made me think about the things that I perceive as problems, right? And when I walk in my home, what do I see? I see like, oh God, I have to clean up. Oh God, I have to put this away and put that away. And I open closets and cupboards and I see things that I haven't touched in months. Like, why do I possibly need these things? And all they do is generate feelings of like, oh, I feel cluttered. I feel like it's a mess. And like, why does this mess exist? Well, it's because I have things that I don't need and they just sit around. So in order to just kind of clear that mental space and really create the space for creativity and the time you spend cleaning the house, like I'll be honest, I often clean because I'm putting off other things, right? I think so just kind of getting all that out of my physical space was really important to me after this trip. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
I love it. And you extended this essentialism to online space as well, right? Like you're decluttering your digital world. Yeah. Tell us about that because I think that's so inspiring and cool too.
Oh my God, I do feel like I'm being interviewed.
I know, right? I'm so good at this.
I talked zeroed. I went into my Facebook. So the biggest thing that I did in my online space was I unsubscribed, unfollowed, or left tons of Facebook groups. And what was
not
that?
Ours, right?
No, not ours.
Actually, I saw your beautiful post in ours. I know you're still there. And it means so much more knowing that you've unfollowed other places.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not that I didn't find value in them. It's just that I remember feeling like I would open well, when I came back, also, it took me a long time to dive back into Facebook because I had so many notifications, so many people that I didn't want to miss.
You must have had so many notifications. I can't even imagine.
It was bananas. And what bothered me most was that we teach inbox zero because your email is a reflection of your relationships. And so we want to make sure that everything in our inbox is responded to and that it's important to us, and all the unimportant stuff we get to choose when we want to look at it, right? And that wasn't the case in my Facebook. So I would open my notifications and I would scroll down and be like, so-and-so posted in this group and that group. And I don't care. What I do care about are the people that commented on my photos or that sent me a message, but they were getting lost. So for me, like, it was really essentializing things down to making sure that the relationships were being taken care of.
Wow, that's beautiful.
I never thought about before.
Yeah. I love that. And it's really inspired me as well. So thank you for that.
Hey!
I know every time I CC'd you on an email or anything while you were away, I was like, I'm sorry. It's going to be sitting there when you come back.
I loved it. It's weird, like being out of the loop and coming back and trying to catch up. So
and a lot of them, I tried to just CC you or BCC you so that you knew that I responded so that you wouldn't have to, so that you could just dump it as soon as you saw it. So there's a little hack.
Guys, if you guys have a business, I really recommend finding a Kimi.
Oh my God, that's my hack, is finding a Pua. It's the best business tip ever.
Seriously. I mean, and truly, we're going to talk about this today, but having a business culture and a business model and just a business in general and a business partner who, that allows you to travel for 2 weeks and not worry and not stress, and like that's best life ever right there,
Yeah. Well, and also, I mean, that you were out there living your best life ever. So you were working for our business, right? Like, you living your best life ever is exactly what our business needs to thrive. And so whatever it takes to make that happen as a team, that's what we do.
Totally. And it was so funny to me. We've owned our own business for so long that I forgot what kind of freedom we have to travel and to take time off. And my sister was talking on this trip about how she gets 5 vacation days, and she gets a paid day off on her birthday. And I'm like, oh my God. So like, in order for you to travel, working as an employee, you have to jump through all these hoops. Maybe you get paid for a few of the days, right? But maybe your travel dates don't get approved and you can't go. Those are the little things that I started to kind of forget and take for granted as an entrepreneur. And so it was great to be reminded of that freedom that we have.
For sure. And I think perspective helps with that too, because when you take a step back from your business, whether it's for a day or for 2 weeks, you recognize that so much of the restrictions that we sometimes feel as business owners or as entrepreneurs are self-inflicted. And so when we start remembering like, oh, wait, I don't have to do anything. This is my business. This is our business. We get to create it the way that we want it. That's a great reminder too for us, right? It's like sometimes we're like,
Totally.
oh my gosh, like how many times have we said like, oh, but we got to do this. And then we have to say, wait, do we? This is our business. We get to do whatever we want.
Right.
And so yay. Okay, so today, since here we are, right? This is the end, pretty much it's the end of 2017 already. We got December left, but we thought it'd be fun to just take a moment to reflect on this year and share a little bit, maybe a little teasers about what to expect and what we're excited about moving forward into 2018. And I kind of feel like New Year's sort of came early for us because you were away and then you came back and right away we started doing a lot of big visioning, which is what we always do actually at the end of the year, doing big visioning for what the next year is going to look like. What's Best Life Ever 3.0 going to look like for us? And so let's reflect a little on 2017 and what this year was all about for us.
Yes, let's do that.
Because some really big things happened.
Yeah, and it's so important for all of you guys to do this because what I felt, the trap that I actually fell into today was that we did all this planning. I mean, guys, I can't even tell you how excited we are for 2018 and for the stuff that we have coming. It's taking all the willpower I have not to just say it right now, but we get in this place where we get so excited to move forward and progress, and we're kind of hustling and grinding, and we forget that in a year, no matter who you are, no matter what you do, no matter what your situation is, so much has happened in a year. And so many, maybe this year was tough, or maybe this year was awesome, or maybe, whatever it is, it's easy to kind of just let that fizzle away into the past and keep pushing forward. So this is a really great exercise for everybody. And it's especially really good for me today, right now, because I'm just so forward focused that I just need to take a deep breath and just
well, that's
settle.
what inspires us to keep going, and while we don't necessarily, need to dwell in the past, it's nice to stop and reflect because often our motivation and excitement for the future comes from recognizing how far we've come. And when we just
celebrating.
Yeah, and celebrating. Because when we just blow by stuff without taking that moment to reflect, we can have that feeling of like, oh, we're just keep trying to go forward, like we're never making any progress, when in fact we always are.
Totes.
All right. So what happened this year for us? To me, what stands out the most when we asked ourselves this question right before we recorded, I was like, oh my gosh, well, this was the year that we made the biggest statement about our trust in ourselves to be entrepreneurs. And that was we have been not in the 9-to-5 deal for a really long time. We still sort of had these other side gigs that we were doing, namely fitness training was our main one. And we let that go this year. And it was huge. I mean, my God, we've been doing that for years. And it was a huge part of our life and just the community that we had, we're spending so much time with. And it was just a really big part of our lives. And to let that go was a leap of faith for us. But it also was it was like that Thelma and Louise moment, we're like holding hands, like into jumping off the cliff into our unknown future. And I'm so proud of us for that. And it was so hard. And it was not something we're just like, okay, bye. Like it was a really difficult and conflicted decision, and one that, took a lot of bravery and massaging and figuring things out. And yet we did it, and here we are. And it was something that really stands out to me as what made this year crazy and amazing. Crazy amazing.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, it was like it was the shift in intention that I think we both needed to really know that we were serious, right? Like
Yes.
it's like where we took that last foot off the ledge.
Yes.
And it was energetic, and it was, it's an energetic decision for sure to really free us up to have the mental and physical energy to put all that we have into our business. But for a lot of people, and this was definitely true for us, there was so much fear. There was a lot of uncertainty, and it was a kind of a big decision financially, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because no longer did we have someone else giving us a paycheck that we could rely on.
Mm-hmm.
And that is probably one of the biggest fears for any entrepreneur. I know it was the biggest fear for me. And to take that leap, it's really, as Kimi said, it's making a statement. We're telling ourselves, and we're telling the world that we have something that is so freaking awesome that it can support us and our families.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And, in hindsight, like looking back, I recognize now that my limited thinking was that, like, okay, if I let go of that security of that, there's all this fear, there's all this unknown. But really what it did, and we had a hunch, which is why we made this decision, was that it freed us up mentally, physically, emotionally, in an energetic way to be able to create the same and more abundance in our life, right? So
Mm-hmm.
like it was a split of energy that we had happening for quite some time. And again, that served us for a very long time. It worked well. It was a beautiful thing. And it was just time to make that shift. And we've shared about that in past episodes, but I love the way that it freed up all this energy to generate exactly the thing that we feared losing, if that makes sense.
For sure. We're co-hosting a retreat next year called Shift to Rise, and one of our co-hosts, Ryan, was on a call the other week, and he asked a really awesome question. So without divulging too much information, so it might seem a little cryptic, but he was talking to someone about, what their kind of aspirations are and why they're applying for this, and he asked I don't want to mess this up, but what's the cost of you not investing in this life for yourself, in this decision, in this training, this support, this community? What is it costing you to continue living the way that you're living? How much are you paying? How much are you getting? And to think of things in those terms when you're thinking about staying in a job because of your paycheck. What's your paycheck? Say it's, $50,000 a year. Is that worth, is the way that you feel about your life right now worth that much money to you? If it is, cool, stay. If it's not, something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Like, are you going to sacrifice the life of your dreams for $2,000 a month or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
When it could be exponentially more.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. So awesome. And such a great learning experience for us, and such an important part of our personal expansion, and something now that we're able to share and coach others on. I mean, really, that was something that stands out. And you're also just such a relief, or maybe even funny, to look back and think about the things that we were worried about making that transition. Like, like this is going to happen, or that's going to happen, or what if this, and having like none of that actually happen. And instead, what it did is it opened us up, as we said, energetically, to create amazing things like the other highlight of our year, which is our membership platform. And our membership, BLE Buzz, is like, oh, I want to cry when I think about it. I love this so much. And it just lights us up. It lights us both up and brings us so much joy. We talk about it all the time. And we're able to give that the energy. Like, there's no way we could have done both, I feel. And it was just perfect. It's just perfect. And that's another highlight for me. How about you?
For sure. It's so funny because BLE Buzz is as we continue to evolve our business and, polish things up and niche down and do all the things that we're excited to do, the Buzz in all of its forms, it's taken on different names. It used to be the Fix, it used to be all these things. But the Buzz is the one thing that we refuse to let go of. We refuse to give up on it. That's not even a question. It's just, how can we make it better? How can we enhance it? And all of our conversations kind of start with, I love our Buzz community. I love what we do. I can't let go of the feeling that I have after every live Buzz call.
Mm-hmm.
Every time we finish a call, we're like, that was so fun. This is what we're meant to do. And it's like, you can't ignore that.
Yeah.
Nothing in the world could convince us to let go of that. And so, be ready, guys, because the Buzz is going to be freaking unreal in 2018. But yeah, that to me is probably like our crown achievement of 2017 for sure.
Absolutely. And all the warm fuzzies that we've just felt over the year, hearing from our members and this community and the ways that they've had aha moments and shifts and the way their lives have shifted because of this membership, like, that's everything to us. That's why we do what we do in any form that we do it. So it's been really, really exciting. So yes, yay. I want to just high five the world on that one. High five all of our buzzers. Bah, 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 bah. Okay.
High fived you.
Thank you.
Did you hear it?
I did hear it. I just I have my hands up. I'm like trying to high five and I'm like just sitting in front of my laptop. It feels so incomplete.
Hopefully in 2018 we have a studio space.
Yes.
And it's in the works, and we also are hoping to do video so we can actually like show you that we're high-fiving each other instead of I'm sitting at my kitchen counter right now. Just full disclosure.
Yeah. I'm sitting at my son's desk. Just praying that the dog doesn't bark. So, okay. So and it's interesting that our highlights, and this is probably true for most people, the highlights of our year are actually the scariest things we've done, right?
My God, good call.
Yeah, they're the things that have taken the most amount of bravery or like figuring things out or learning curve, or they've required a lot of expansion on our part. And so another highlight certainly has been Shift to Rise. And it's almost crazy to me how we're just like, oh yeah, we're just going to do that. And we created a team with two other amazing coaches, entrepreneurs, Tara and Ryan. You've heard all about them on this podcast so far and in our Buzz community. And we are holding a retreat in April of 2018. And this has been such a powerful experience, coming together with other like-minded entrepreneurs to create something huge. I've personally never created something like this before, and it's been the most, gosh, I don't even have words. I'm like, it's just been incredible on a personal level, just the way that it's pushed me to think beyond my limits. And I'm freaking excited.
It's a really cool story, in my opinion, that, it's us really making decisions based on what we feel is right and what we're excited about. Because this was a really humongous thing to commit to, and yet we knew right away it felt good. It felt right, and that's, I think we talk about this all the time. We let our our minds and our brains talk us out of what we feel in our heart and our gut. And it really helped to be surrounded by a collection of coaches that operate in the same way. What I think is so cool about this is, Kimi and I have each other, and that's amazing. And so we're so grateful to have a partnership. I think we're pretty smart and we have some pretty good ideas, but it's been really cool to have a couple more eyes, ears, brains, hearts in the mix to create amazing curriculum for this, to create awesome trainings and marketing materials and webinars. And it's just been such a different experience to be on a bigger team. And it's been really cool to build this, kind of in conjunction with building our own business, but just have something different yet the same to focus on.
For sure. Yeah. I think, for us, we've always thought, oh, well, we're so blessed because we're in alignment with each other. We flow really well together. And there's always that thing of like, not that it's a fluke or something or that we're lucky, but it's so cool to see that when you are in alignment, you will draw other people that are in alignment to you. And even if their styles are different, like you and I are very different in many ways, and Ryan's style of coaching, Tara's style of coaching are all different, but we all have this like shared alignment. And so the vibration is the same. And so then we're able to create something amazing from this place of flow and alignment and vibration, like vibrating at the same level. So it's like total, like your vibe attracts your tribe. And it's really great confirmation.
Totally. And guys, if you're excited about this, you're like, what is this? I want to know more. Go to shifttorise.com and submit an application. Every application is basically just an invitation to chat. And so we'll jump on with you. We'll talk for about an hour and you can ask us questions, find out more about, who you are, what your aspirations are. And it's really fun. So, if you're like, I've always wanted to talk to Kimi and Pua or Tara and Ryan, now's your chance. Do it. Absolutely. You don't even have to commit to the event. So,
and I just have to say that this event is like such a great deal. I mean, I know it's not about the, money or anything, but it's the value is so high and it's such a great deal. And it's a really great way to spend your spring break or a little bit of time during the spring and just to get together. Like there is no way you can come to this event and not transform. And so I feel like we've almost created the event that we want to attend. And so as much as I'm looking forward to what the event is going to look like for everyone, I'm also excited what it's going to look like for us because I know it's going to be so transformative for everybody involved. And it's just like this present that's waiting for us in April. And I just want everyone to get on board so that they can be a part of it and open that present with us.
I absolutely want to attend this. I'm just right? I'm so grateful that I get to pretend to work at it so that I can be there. I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
Wait, okay. Now that we're in the sales mode, I just want to tell you guys, just to jump off of what Kimi said, this is a ridiculous deal. All you have to do is buy your plane ticket to Honolulu, and the sooner you do that, the better. Everything is included. We are staying at the most gorgeous estate on the North Shore. It is a ginormous house. There's so many beds to choose from. It's just like gorgeous, amazing, beautiful. So your room and board included in the price. Okay. Your food included in the price. And we have the most amazing chef. The food is going to be unreal. I want to go just to eat. It's amazing. Plus 5 days of pretty intensive personal development work, professional development work.
Not intensive in the scary way, but intensive in the
intensive
fun way.
In like the best way. It's like summer camp for badasses.
Oh, I love that. It's spring break for badasses.
It's going to be amazing. I don't even know. Like I can't even talk about it. It's awesome. So
yay.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, definitely check out the website. Reach out if you have any questions about it. And if you feel those little like butterflies in your stomach, that's like your spirit talking to you. So listen, just like we listen to create it, listen and at least apply, because the worst that's going to happen is you have a fabulous conversation. So, yeah. Now, oh my gosh, I want to talk about Best Life Ever. I want to talk about Best Life Ever 3.0 so much, but we did decide, Pooh and I together, that we're going to be a little, what's the word? Cage-ish about it, like beat around the bush just a little bit, so that a little
But
cryptic.
you can get a little sample of it already on our website.
Yes, you can. So what I'd like to just say about, so we have, as we mentioned, been big visioning for 2018. We've been thinking about how we're going to emerge as Best Life Ever 3.0, what we can do more of, what perhaps we might want to do less of, what we want to focus on, and what really lights us up. And that's how we operate. That's part of our business culture. We follow what brings us joy. And, that's why we sound so high when we're talking about Best Life Ever 3.0, is because we're
Oh
so
God,
fired, right?
high.
We do. We're so fired up by what lights us up because we follow that. And when something feels sticky, we really ask ourselves, like, is this meant to be a part of our business anymore? And what a rad, cool, new way to do things, and it goes against what many entrepreneurs might tell you, more traditional businesses might tell you, but we really believe in it, and we've really found that by listening to your heart, by bringing yourself into alignment instead of just hustling your ass off, that's really the way to create a business and a life that you love. And so we have some exciting things planned for 2018. But let's talk a little bit more about how we walk the talk and how we eat our own dog food in December.
Yeah, I'm so glad you were the one to talk about that, because I wouldn't be able to keep my mouth shut. So, okay. We, as we talked about earlier, do things like 90% based on how they make us feel, right? And at Best Life Ever, we travel. We spend time with our family. We, make sure that everything we do is in alignment. And we're so proud that this is a business culture that we've adopted and that we preach and that we are super excited to share. And it's because we live our best life ever. And we always say, your best life ever is not a perfect life, but it's a life that makes you excited to wake up every day and live, because you have the tools to enjoy it. You have the tools to shift out of things that feel funky. And so, we worked hard to create a schedule and a life that allows us to walk the talk. And one of the most awesome things that we do for ourselves every year is we really give ourselves the opportunity to enjoy the holidays and to really give the end of each year the energy and attention and love that it deserves. And so we are super stoked to share with you that this is our last podcast of 2017.
I just want to say sorry, Gretel.
Gretel, I'm sure that if you go back, you can listen to some really old episodes and they'll feel new while you clean on Sunday morning.
Oh, we are so grateful for all of you listening in each week. And we have so many wonderful friends and followers that will reach out to us, and they appreciate the weekly consistency that we've built into our business. And so we hope that, yes, you can catch up on past episodes, and that you can spend time with family. And you can certainly reach out to us too, so we'll be back in your earbuds in 2018. But in the meantime, you can do things like jump onto our Facebook group, our Best Life Ever tribe on Facebook. Just reach out to us and just have some fun, And
Totally.
I'm so proud. I'm so proud that we do this. And whenever I tell people that we lighten up our load in December, I always get these sort of weird looks. It's sort of like a combination of awe and that they wish their business culture lightened up their load in December. And just it is so I keep wanting to use the word radical, but it is kind of radical, you know, and for so many people, they're just, December is associated with just like more hustle, more just going bananas and stress. And so because we know that there will be more family events, more holiday events, more things going on, we look at our schedule and we say, okay, what can we lighten up? Where can we lighten up so that we have the white space and the breathing space to, yes, certainly enjoy the holidays for one, and also really think about how we want to emerge in 2018. It gives us a little bit of buffer time to go inward. And I feel like we did a podcast about this, about how this is like that time of year where our spirits, you know, want to like go inward, and yet the world calls us to go outward, right? If you think about this time of year as being like cold and a time to like huddle in, and there's this tendency to want to go inward, and yet we're pulled to like wrap up the year and do all the things. And so
set your New Year's resolution.
Figure everything out by December 31st. And so this is like our way of walking the talk, and less hustle, more alignment.
For sure. And it's such a great reminder for, I think, for entrepreneurs especially, but really anybody who's operating from the place of like striving for consistency. And, you know, the whole 10X law, right? Like consistency is totally key. And it is definitely not something that to be just kind of, you know, taken lightly. And we definitely want to make sure that you know that we strongly believe in and encourage consistency. And so that was one of the big things where we were like, oh my God, we can't take a week or 2 or 3 off of our podcast because, you know, we've been going strong for 87 weeks in a row. That's just, you know, it goes against all podcast rules. You don't take time off. And what, you know, was really cool about the way that we made this decision was that we remembered, again, this is our business. This is our podcast. And what is more important to us than the consistency of week 88, 89, 89, you know, like it was living and working and being intentional and in alignment with what we value. That will always take priority and precedence over everything else. And so to operate in integrity with everything that we say, everything that we do, this was a no-brainer.
Yes, I love it. Yeah, intention. Intention is so key. And I think, you know, it wasn't like we're just like, yeah, I don't really feel like doing this today. I don't really feel like recording anymore. There is intention behind the break in inconsistency for us. And so we are being consistent in our alignment, if you will. So let's give I just have to share another little teaser about Best Life Ever 3.0 because I'm so excited. And I think this was also a reason why we decided that taking a little few weeks off in December from podcasting was going to be important for us. And that was because we really wanted to we had an intention for that time that we're going to use. So it wasn't for no reason. And the time that we're creating by cutting back on podcast production means that we can put it towards the revamping, the polishing up, the new things coming for you in 2018, so that when we come back into your earbuds and in the new year, we'll have so much to share and we'll be ready. So we're going to be working behind the scenes to bring you this new version of our business, of our podcast, of Kimi and Pua. And what makes me the most excited and the most proud of this new version is that it is more us. And that's all it is. That's any evolution of our business has only been that and will only ever be that. It's like we are just becoming more and more ourselves and more authentic and more in alignment. And that's the best thing that's living your best life ever. And that's creating a business that you love. And I'm proud of that.
I'm so proud. I have so much to say. I don't even know.
Do it.
I feel like it's another episode's worth of stuff. But, you know, as if you're listening to this and you have jumped into the entrepreneurial world and you're listening, you're like, God, how do I get there? We did not know what we were doing when we started a business. That's just it. We didn't know how to do a podcast when we started a podcast. We didn't know how to build a website when we built our website. You don't know. And that's so okay. And we didn't get here in an instant. It took us 3 years. And I will say that the more we evolve our business, the more we reinvent ourselves, and the more that, as Kimi said, we dial things in so that it is truly us and it's truly authentic and it reflects what we love to do the most in our hearts, the easier everything is, the more abundant it all feels, it just kind of makes sense and it feels right. It's like puzzle pieces fitting together. But this did not happen overnight. So if you're like, I don't quite feel that way, but I don't know why, don't worry about it. We're here to talk. If you want to chat, just shoot us an email. But just keep. Oh God, I hate saying this, but just keep going. Just keep reinventing yourself. Keep asking yourself the questions. Keep identifying what you're super excited about, and keep identifying what you don't love, and move forward. That's all it is. This is just a game of reinvention. And what's so fun about having your own business is you get to follow that. You get to say, I don't like doing Facebook ads anymore, so I get to outsource that. You get to say, I don't like working with whoever you don't like working with anymore, and then you don't have to do it anymore, right? You don't have a boss telling you that you have to take these phone calls or that you have to cold call or you have to send these emails. You do whatever the F you want to do. And that is true freedom.
I love that. Yay.
Yay!
You had said that we do 90% of things by how we feel. And I would say it's 100%.
Yeah, you're right.
And I think that, that's what I love about us so much. This is like the I love us episode.
Sorry, not sorry.
And I think that what we've learned is that we don't resist or fear when things don't feel good, because that to us is just feedback that is not our path and that is not our truth. And so it's almost that now we can be grateful for resistance when it comes up, because it's like, oh, okay, then that's not the way we're supposed to go. And thank you for that. Or, oh, that's not our truth. That doesn't feel good. So that's not truth. And when something does feel good, we have learned and are learning always, of course, to trust that. And so know that if something is exciting to you, something makes you feel good, something lights you up, something brings you joy, follow that. And even when it's almost like that, then that other, like our brain comes in immediately after, right? Like, oh, I wanna do this. Oh, but I could never do this. I could never afford this. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do Facebook ads. I don't know how to build a business. Be grateful for all those I don't knows, for all that resistance, because that is just an opportunity for you to reaffirm what you really want and to know that that is not your truth. Because truth is that it doesn't freaking matter if you don't know any of those things. You can, as Pua said, get support. We're here to support you with all the I don't knows. Focus back onto the what and to the why and to what you want and to that joy, and just consistently reconnect to that feeling, and it will not lead you astray.
Totally. And I just want to say too that understanding where resistance comes from isn't always immediate. We've been stuck on things for months. Literally, there's something that we've been working on since like April. And we couldn't figure out why we weren't able to finish it. We couldn't take action on it. We kind of did little things here and there, and we didn't really do much of anything on it. And only today did we truly understand why. We went in, we, revamped the language on our website today, and then we understood. We're like, oh, that's why that feels sticky, because we don't actually like doing that, or we don't actually resonate with that service, or there's it's all learning. And the only time that you really can fail, and the only time that you can really stop learning and progressing and making things better is when you just stop doing everything completely. And even then, you're not failing. You're just starting on a different path.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really just a matter of continuing with the journey and staying open and continuing to ask yourself questions and getting feedback and not letting that feedback, dictate how you feel about anything, because you get to choose whether you want to listen to it or not. And most people should probably listen to the feedback, or else, it just takes you longer to get wherever you're going. But, not all feedback is meant for you to take action on. And it's just a matter of, again, like being flexible, being open, and have some freaking fun. Okay? If for nothing else, like if you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I freaking love it, like keep doing that. You don't need to know what. You don't need to know how to do anything. Just have fun doing it.
Tell you guys, like, it's so awesome. One of the things that we do is we block off our Calendly, which is our calendar scheduling, software. And Pua, I saw this little surprise and delight thing that she did. She had blocked off some days in December when we're not working, as we said we won't. And it said Calendly block, go have some fun. I love that. I was like, I just noticed that the other day. It's like, I'm like, okay. I like that.
I didn't remember doing that. That's
all right.
funny.
Well, it'll surprise and delight both of us. Okay, so I can't help but, since we're not going to be in people's ears until 2018, can we just leave everybody with some inspired assignments? Just because I guess it's the coach in us.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so let's see some inspired assignments to take you through to the new year. Certainly go back and listen to any of our episodes where we talk about doing a big vision. The quarterly review of you is one of the episodes. Just take some time and think about what you want to create in 2018 and really let your joy drive you. And this, I feel, always comes from, like a really great way to do this would just be to get away from all distraction, at least for an hour if you can, half an hour if you don't have an hour, and maybe before everybody wakes up, and just disconnect from all technology, get a little journal, and just sit with yourself. Just sit, take some deep breaths, and really connect to you, it like capital Y-O-U, that, and connect to that truth of who you are, that infinite, just expansive, I can do anything, you, that truth. And really think about what you'd like to create. And don't, as soon as the head starts coming in, the brain starts telling you like, I can't do this, that, exactly what we said, go back to the, if anything were possible. It's like that magic wand question that we always say. If you had a magic wand, could have anything and everything that you wanted, what are those desires? And get them out on paper and just see what happens from there.
And remember, this is an exercise in awareness. Mm-hmm. This is not, you're not signing something in blood and saying, if you don't achieve this, then you fail. I think this big visioning scares people because of that. Know that you can do a big vision tomorrow, and then you can do a big vision the very next day. Mm-hmm. Or you can do a big vision later that day and have it be totally different. And also, this is an exercise in planting seeds, right? This is not a New Year's resolution finder.
Right.
This is a process that you get to reflect on throughout. We love to say that January, the entire month of January, is for planting seeds and getting creative and seeing what possibilities this next year holds for you. And whether or not any of those things actually come to fruition, it really doesn't matter. You get to choose that. But the idea is you're connecting, as Kimi said, with yourself and with your heart and the things that you are excited about that maybe you either forgot about or kind of let yourself go astray from, or they're new and you've never been aware of them before. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I freaking love that. And I didn't even know. Right. So this is just an awareness exercise. So don't let it freak you out and have fun. Please have fun.
I love that how you say too, like not like you have all of January. I know we've said that before. I forgot about that. And it's so important because doesn't that take so much pressure off of us? I feel like we we put so much unnecessary pressure on ourselves to be like, okay, I want all these things and I have to like start January 1st and have it do it every single day. I'm going to work out every single day of 2018. It's like, don't do that to yourself. Like, let this be the seed planting time, the dreaming time. Let all of January be the dreaming time, and see which ones really light you up and which ones, it's okay. You can let them go. And I don't know, I just like the way that takes a lot of the pressure off. I also love the way, I think it's the Desire Map book, Danielle Laporte. She talks about how do you want to feel in 2018? And I think that can be such an expansive question too, where you're just, how do you want to feel? What do you want to do more of? What do you want to do less of? Like these very light, easy, expansive questions are so much better than, I don't say better, there's no better or worse, but there's so much...
No, they're better.
less pressure, less strict than like, okay, what do I have to do to make 2018 better than 2017? Okay, I guess I have to work out. I guess I have to do this. I guess I got to get my shit together, Oh, there I swore. Now we got to make the little E thing on the...
E.
No, we didn't make it.
We might as well just make it a permanent installment.
Oh, God, seriously.
Guys, go to our website.
Yeah. Pua and I have so potty mouths. That's just who we are. We're not going to hide it anymore. You guys, oh my God. One time Pua was on speakerphone in the car with my kids.
Oh God.
And they'd never heard her swear before. I don't even know what you're talking about. It was like something
It was my
crazy.
hair.
Oh yeah. And she's just like, blah, 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 I look like effing Medusa, blah, blah. She's just dropping F-bombs left and right. And I look back and both my kids are like, and like their eyes are so big. And Sawyer's like, Auntie Pua has a potty mouth. Oh, it's so funny. Oh, I love it. And then I said, next time, if you ever swear, I'm gonna say, where'd you learn that? And he's gonna say, Auntie Pua. Oh, okay. Wow, that was a tangent. Okay, your other inspired assignment is to join us in the tribe on Facebook, bit.ly/BLE tribe.
And do not unsubscribe to it. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Unless that's what you feel inspired to do as you essentialize. That's cool too.
Totally. Do what feels right in your heart.
Yes. We
trust that it will feel right to stay in the group. No, but this is a really, really fun, awesome, supportive community that we're really excited to share with everybody. And again, this is another one of those things that when we talk about our business, we're like, we love our tribe. Everybody's just really on the same mission. And isn't that what we're looking for, right? Community and to surround ourselves with people on the same mission as you. So, if you're excited about this podcast and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get more of this, go over to Facebook. I think you can just search Best Life Ever Tribe and it should show up. There's a couple questions and we really like when you answer the questions. A little secret, you can actually not answer them and we'll still accept you. But
as long as you don't look shady.
That's it. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, and if you feel inspired, apply for our Shift to Rise retreat, because how fun would it be to party in real life together and expand and transform together in April of 2018. So that's shifttorise.com. And we're going to have some trainings and some other things happening over the next few weeks. And so that's another place to kind of stay in the loop of all the things that we're doing if we're not in your ears in podcast form. And I think that's it. Have some freaking fun. I kind of don't want it to end because I just want to like hug everyone and just talk longer. This is like turning into one of those 3-hour Joe Rogan podcasts.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I think my dentist just called.
Oh,
so,
perfect.
It's a pretty good reason to. I had a filling fall out yesterday and I'm like freaked out. There's a big hole in my tooth. And we actually didn't record earlier. We like waited for my dentist to call me back and then we decided that they weren't going to call me back. So we started recording and I just saw the call. So that's a decent reason to.
Yes, this is the universe saying, all right, girls, that's enough. Wrap it up.
Girls, come on.
Well, we love you guys so much. We're so grateful to each and every one of you. If you're listening to this right now, my goodness, here is a big hug. Here I am again, hugging the air. And just know that we're so grateful for you. We look forward to continuing to connect in 2018. Reach out to us and let us know what your exciting plans are for this month and in the new year. And we love you. Have the best December ever.
Bye, 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 bye.